Hello. In the 16th century, the transition from the intimacy of communal living to greater privacy gathers pace, and the upstairs-downstairs world of the English country house as we know it begins to emerge. In the relative domestic stability of a confident Elizabethan England, there was a growing emphasis on comfort and convenience and less on security. At Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire, completed in 1596 for Bess of Hardwick, Countess of Shrewsbury, there are 46 rooms excluding service rooms, and the hall, formerly at the heart of a grand country house, is relegated to an entrance and reception area for visitors. Bess's main attendant might sleep at the foot of her mistress's bed, but other servants bedded down on straw mattresses on the stairs leading to Bess's private rooms. It's still a very public life, with servants almost part of the family, but a transition is underway. It was widespread practice, as part of the education of the sons and daughters of minor gentry, to spend time as a member of an aristocratic household, perhaps playing games with their hosts and their guests, or performing roles such as taster or carver. Carving was seen as an art, carried out in full view at the table with considerable ceremony, employing a range of techniques for different meats. Bess herself had spent time as a servant to the family's Derbyshire neighbours, Sir John and Lady Zouche of Codnor Castle. At the new Hardwick Hall, with its formal staterooms for business and separate withdrawing rooms for privacy, life for servants was markedly different from life in an open great hall. When Robert Smithson began working on Hardwick Hall, it already contributed to the design and building of Longleat House near Warminster in Wiltshire for Sir John Thynne, which in 1949 became the first privately owned stately home to open to the public, and Woolerton Hall in Nottingham for Sir Francis Willoughby, now in the care of the City Council and home to museums of natural history and industry. A similar design plan is evident in all three of these showpiece mansions. During the Elizabethan and Jacobean ages, the Long Gallery became popular, replacing the Great Hall as the social centre of the house. Typically, as at Hardwick, situated on an upper floor and running along the side of the house with windows providing views over the surrounding countryside. The Long Gallery was used for entertaining guests, displaying paintings, playing games and indoor exercise. This is the Long Gallery at Aston Hall in Birmingham, built between 1618 and 1635 for Sir Thomas Holt, a former High Sheriff of Warwickshire. Aston Hall is now looked after by Birmingham Museums Trust and is open to the public. This is the Long Gallery at Hatfield House in Hertfordshire, completed in 1611 for Robert Cecil, 1st Earl of Salisbury, and still owned by the Cecil family. The house is open to visitors in the summer. Also still a private family home, managed by a preservation trust and open to the visitors, Burley House near Stamford, built between 1555 and 1587 in 3 stories around a rectangular courtyard by Robert Cecil's father, William Cecil, Lord Burley, Lord High Treasurer and Chief Minister of Elizabeth I. Daniel Defoe, visiting Burley in the early 18th century, described it as more like a town than a house, the towers and pinnacles like so many parish churches. Burley House's exterior is largely as built, its tall chimneys, octagonal turrets and ogee cupolas creating a dramatic skyline. William Cecil was his own architect, drawing on the latest continental ideas. Inside, the house plan remained broadly traditional. Guests entered via a screen's passage into a great banqueting hall, complete with hammer-beam roof and minstrel's gallery. The bookcases are a 19th century addition. Paying visitors today enter the house via the impressive rib-vaulted Tudor kitchen with its large range and roasting spit. Burley House, along with Longleat, Woolerton, Hatfield, Hardwick and Aston Hall, are all examples of what have become known as Prodigy houses, a term coined by architectural historian John Summerson. Grand eye-catching mansions designed to advertise the taste, status and wealth of their owners, frequently with the aim of attracting a royal visit. Since Elizabeth I, not much of a builder herself, travelled with an entourage numbering around 150, that required plenty of accommodation and facilities. There was a competitive element, as courtiers vied to outdo each other with buildings they didn't really need. Houses that were intended as expressions of loyalty. The great expanse of glass, a hugely expensive luxury in Tudor England, is a visible statement of wealth at Hardwick Hall, where 14 ESs for Elizabeth Shrewsbury, topped with a Countess's coronet, combine with scrolling garlands to create a personalised rooftop balustrade. Several overambitious builders ended up bankrupting themselves. Wollerton soaked up much of Sir Francis Willoughby's coal mining fortune. Burghley House stretched even William Cecil's resources. Sir Christopher Hatton, Lord Chancellor to Elizabeth I, built Holmby Palace specifically in anticipation of a visit by the Queen. Completed in 1583, built around 2 courtyards and with 123 windows, Holmby was a rival to Hampton Court in size. Hatton vowed never to live there until Queen Elizabeth had spent the night. She never did. The project left Hatton strapped for cash and saddled his heirs with considerable debts. After he died in 1591, a canny Bess of Hardwick purchased a set of 13 enormous tapestries from Holmby, telling the Old Testament story of Gideon, for the bargain price of £326, 15 shillings and 9pence, having knocked £5 off the asking price to cover the cost of replacing the Hatton coat of arms with the Cavendish stag. The remnants of one wing of Hatton's palace are contained within the later Holmby House, now an events venue. Next time I'm going to say more about the changing relationships between masters and servants and the emergence of the upstairs-downstairs divide. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.